Yes, it's Gold Cup Day here at Royal Ascot, and we have brought in a golden panel for you for Good Morning Royal Ascot. Joining myself, David Jennings from the Racing Post, to preview all the action on day 3 at a sweltering Ascot. We have got the one, the only. 3 decades he's been the face of the Racing Post. Can I build him up anymore? It's Mr. Tom Segal.
Look at the golden panel.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thanks, DJ.
How has your week been so far?
Okay. Last race yesterday got me out of trouble a bit. I'm a big fan of Eve Johnson-Horton. So Havana Hurricane?
Havana Hurricane,
Getting
that's
old,
the one.
can't remember the names. Thought he was really good, so that got me out of a bit of trouble. Should have had American Affair, should have had Ombudsman. So it's one of those, it's like any Ascot. There's 3 or 4 you can tip your back in every race, and if you land on the right ones, you have a great week, and if you don't, you can have a terrible week.
Yeah, we're in the house last night, and that's what Keel said. We're sitting there and watching telly, no naked attraction again last night. No, we're watching the soccer. And
soccer?
Keel said, yeah, the Club World Cup is on.
Football.
Yeah,
football.
Oh, sorry, football. Yeah, I forgot you call it football.
Do you want watching the cricket? Like proper English? Oh, you're Irish. I keep forgetting.
And somebody said, like, we need more football, don't we? But anyway, Keel said they were all findable, weren't they? All the 7 winners were findable. That's what makes it frustrating. I was like, of course they're findable after the race.
No, that's the thing though about it's the same Ascot every year though, isn't it? You can find them. Of
all the results this week of the horses you didn't tip that won, what annoyed you the most?
Ombudsman by miles.
Oh.
That was so obvious. Yeah. You probably know I'm a big Almacam fan. I think he's a top horse. Ombudsman gave him away, and they weren't. It's just that it's a bit like the milers in the first race, wasn't it? Docklands' race. We sort of hyped them up as being really good, and we had Los Angeles on this pedestal. Actually, his form's not brilliant. You know, he's good and he's tough and he wins, but his form's not brilliant. And this horse just could be better, couldn't it? It's only had 5 runs, and also it's trained by John Gosden, who I think is just, or the Gosdens, who I think are absolute world-class operation.
The highlight of the day, yes, was it Ombudsman, Martin?
Performance-wise, yeah, definitely. It was big effort. I wasn't sure he had that in him, to be honest, but obviously, you know, when he's as lightly raced as he is, it's not a big surprise that he's found that improvement, and he loved the ground, didn't he?
He did.
You know,
that was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't watch him and think rattling fast ground is necessarily what he's going to want, but he obviously handles it really well. And it was, again, last horse to challenge, late down the outside. I was watching it live thinking, I was just around the furlong pole and Anmark came there cruising and just took a length out of him. You thought, here we go. And then spot a couple of lengths further back, Ombudsman last on the scene.
Hypothetical question, it might never happen. But if we got to York in August, Juddmonte International, Field of Gold, Ombudsman, who wins?
Ombudsman, over 1.25 miles. Over 1.25 miles.
Are you being serious here?
Over 1.25 miles.
You think Ombudsman would beat Field of Gold?
Over 1.25 miles, yeah.
I'm shocked. Martin?
Yeah.
I'd be a lot more on the fence, but I think Field of Gold's a better horse than Ombudsman.
Not over 1.25 miles. He's a miler, Field of Gold, isn't he? Bang miler.
I'm speechless, Tom.
I don't think he's a bang
Kevin,
miler.
tell him.
Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Tell him.
What was the question?
So we won't tell you what the answer was, okay? But the question was, just hypothetically, I know they're from the same stable, but Juddmonte International, York, Ombudsman versus Field of Gold, who wins the Juddmonte International? I don't want any huffing and puffing, I just want the name.
Jeez, it is tough, isn't it?
He's more like me.
Ombudsman.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Yeah, there is. Usually me. Yeah, look, I suppose, on pure class, like in terms of what they've done this week, Field of Gold would rate higher. He'd have the unknown of going up and trip. But he's relaxing so much better now, isn't he? He'll give himself a great chance to stay in. The main weapon in this game, Dave, is class, and I think he might have more class, even if the trip is maybe more close to optimum for the other fella.
Welcome to the show. Take a breather, okay? Take a breather, okay? Aly Vance, thanks for joining us. Great to have you on board. We had you a couple of years ago, and you were banging in winners left, right, and centre. We said we got to get you back on. How are you?
It's lovely to be here. Yeah, I'm so glad you've got me. I mean, what do these guys know?
I know.
Really? I mean,
and you are surrounded by ultimate beauty here, so yeah.
It's great to be here. Yeah, no, it's been a fun week. Working hard. Picking a few winners here or there. Had Karmas and further yesterday, so that was quite nice. But am I the only one that I wasn't that bowled over by Ombudsman?
Really?
Yeah.
Don't tell Tom that.
I know, but you're number one.
You're lucky
fan.
Martin is in the middle there.
Was it one of the best? Was it a good Prince of Wales yesterday?
Bit of a pace collapse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always last to challenge at Ascot, isn't it?
I don't know. So Field of Gold definitely.
He had
no
5
line
runs, so
against
he's
each
very
other.
like Knight of
4-1
Thunder.
down.
Knight of Thunder, he's a superstar sire, isn't he?
It's brilliant.
The heat. We have to talk about the heat. Ali, you've been here for the last couple of days. There's all this talk about the dress code. Should it be relaxed? Should we be able to take off?
Definitely not. Like watching you guys really sweat. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a real week for the ladies, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that have to suffer most of the time at the races.
It's really-
We'll be in the shorts in about half an hour.
This is our week to pay the price.
You know, the ladies, we have to wear, it has to be 1-inch straps on our shoulders, which just makes it so difficult, so hot. Yeah.
Oh, tough.
It is really tough. Yeah, I know.
So we're talking about, you know, a 3 in the temperature gauge. Okay, so we're talking about up in the 30 degrees. If it gets to that level, should fellas be allowed to take off their jackets?
You're asking me like I have some authority here, like I'm going to be able
You've the
to
final say,
sway the royal family here. Definitely not. You guys sweat it out just one day of the year.
There's a protocol, I think, isn't there?
There is.
For when it hits 30.
Yeah.
I remember I was here the year, oh God, it must have been 7 or 8 years ago, and it happened, and they announced it over the tannoy, but not for the ride enclosure. I think outside of the ride enclosure, gentlemen were permitted to remove their jackets because there was people literally fainting. You know, dropping all over the place. So it becomes a health and safety issue.
Well, just to let you know, Aly Vance, who has said, no way should we relax the dress code, no way should you be able to take off your jackets. Just before the show started, she was telling us a story. God, we were working yesterday, one of the cameramen working with me, he fainted.
Yeah, that's true. If you are lugging lots of heavy equipment, maybe the rules should be slightly relaxed. But for you guys, which you're not lugging any equipment, are you?
But I'll tell you what.
Well, whoa. It's only just past 8 o'clock. We don't want to go down that road.
I tell you what, there's a man for the viewers and listeners to look out for. You'll see him on ITV. You'd know him if you saw him now. 80.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The steady cam man.
Yeah.
And like that equipment is so heavy, and he's a big man now. But he not only has he to carry that, he's doing a lot of walking backwards.
And he's in the parade ring, so he can't. You know, he's in full top hat tail.
He usually wipes a few people out on his way as well.
Oh, yeah. but that is the toughest gig on the track, no question or doubt. And that, imagine for him now, like, whoa.
Okay, so back to the action yesterday. True Love. Aidan O'Brien won his first Queen Mary. Are we talking about a superstar filly here?
She looked really good. She looked really good. And she didn't necessarily shape the way I was expecting. I thought she might travel out smoother. She came off it a little bit earlier. She looked in a bit of trouble, I dare say. But she went through the gears, moved through them, and ultimately won really well. I think everyone was really impressed with her as a physical. Like, she's clearly very strong, very precocious. What will she end up doing? My gut will always say, you know, she's going to be a sprinter. But, you know, there is encouragement in her pedigree that she could stay a bit further. So, look, I'm going to watch her development like everyone else with loads of interest. But that was certainly a good way to break her maiden.
We're going to talk about the Norfolk in a couple of minutes. Obviously, the shortest price favourite of the day, and probably only one of 2 odds-on shots for the week in Charles Darwin. But is there a chance that the Ballydoyle juveniles this week are just head and shoulders above everything else?
It's incredible, really, Dave. Look, everyone will remember the successes that Aidan O'Brien has had in the 2-year-old races over the years. But like traditionally, like they don't dominate here at all. Like they've had some champions beaten here in 2-year-old races, you know. But we've seen, and you know, you and I are watching them every day of the week at home. Like he has been dominant at home all season in the 2-year-old races, like phenomenally so. I didn't necessarily expect it to transfer so much to here because it's a different game here, but it's been a strong start to the week. And I think the one that carries the most confidence might not have run yet.
Yes.
Do you know what I think, DJ?
What do you think, Tom?
I think that the pedigrees of 2-year-olds these days are not very good, and so Aidan O'Brien dominates. They're all sprint-bred menaces and all these sort of 2-year-old pedigrees, and Aidan O'Brien brings his no-nay nevers and it's all his good horses over, and they beat them because they're not that good. That's my opinion. That's why he's dominating. I think it's going to get better. It's going to carry on over the years, and I think he'll dominate even more from now on.
Wow.
And also, there are no Wesley Ward bullets this year.
Yeah,
he hasn't fought over his huge team as well, Battalion, and in the past they've always picked up the 2-year-old.
That's right. And if you look at the horses that have been placed, there was 100 to 1, 80 to 1.
Yeah.
And then I'm just not sure that the depth is that strong.
Yeah. And I suppose in an Aidan O'Brien context, I suppose you have to remember that we're post-Galileo era now. Like up until very recently, you know, they take in 100 yearlings or so every year, like nearly half of them would have been Galileos for a long time, whereas now we've got Wootton Bassets, we've got No-Name Nevers, you know, we've got a bunch of American bred ones as well. Their general profile of their intake has changed, then it's probably, in fairness, that's probably a factor in what we're seeing this week.
Anything else from yesterday? Anything else that caught your eye? Anything else we should be looking out for with regard to the future? Any hard luck stories? Anything?
Crimson Advocate was good, wasn't she? I know she got the right ride, but she surprised me with how effective she was over the trip. The ground was important, I think, but she's obviously always been a very fast filly, but she was able to stretch that out.
That was an amazing gamble. That was the one that I actually caught my eye. She was 25 to 1 in the morning.
And James McDonald was good as well.
She was brilliant. I mean, he's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
At
he
6 to 1, because she was well behind on all the figures, wasn't she?
Yeah.
It's sort of, people knew she was going to take a big step forward.
Absolutely, yeah. And she certainly did. Winner over 5 at Royal Ascot, now a winner over a mile. Crimson Advocate. We want likes, okay? So yesterday we got the likes going and we got it up and up and up and we built it up and we gave you free tips, but we've a special freebie for you today. If you like our show, all you have to do is press a button. It's not even in the heat. It doesn't take that much effort. Just press the button, press like, and Tom Segal, between now and 9 o'clock at the end of the show, you're going to pick one horse for our beautiful Good Morning Royal Ascot viewers, one horse to follow for the rest of the season. Doesn't have to be running at Ascot, doesn't have to be running anywhere. You have about 45 minutes to think of, okay? At the end of the show, if you press like, Tom Segal, price-wise, is going to give you his horse to follow for the season. Okay, let's get on with the show. And before we get stuck in to the action on Gold Cup Day at Royal Ascot, Paddy Power, they're giving away 50 grand once again in their fantastic Eliminator competition.
The royal treatment, this Royal Ascot. Just like the Princess of Essex.
Faster, babes. I'm sweating buckets.
Don't miss our new free-to-play game, Eliminator, with up to 50k up for grabs every day of Royal Ascot.
Get in.
Okay, so it's 12 minutes past 8. All the nonsense is finished. All that waffle, all the stuff that happened yesterday. You don't care about what happened yesterday. You want to back winners. You want to know what's going to happen today. So let's kick off our preview with the 2:30 at Royal Ascot. It is the Norfolk Stakes. And Charles Darwin, ladies and gentlemen, is now your 4 to 6 favourite with Paddy Power. Naval Light is 9 to 2. Afghan is 6 to 1. First Legion 14 to 1. Sandal Song has been back from 14s into 12s in the last couple of minutes. Sandal Song for James McDonald. Wise Approach 16 to 1. And it's 25 to 1 bar. Right, Tom Segal, I'm coming to you here first, okay? Because your motto in life and what's made you hugely successful.
You know my motto in life, do you?
You're a hugely successful punter. You're price-wise, you're the man, right? But you haven't made your career on either backing or tipping odds on shots. But there will be people watching this show who will put this horse in every single multiple that they have. There'll be plenty of big hitting punters watching the show who will be backing this horse. It's their biggest bet of the week. Charles Darwin 4 to 6. Is there any value whatsoever in that price?
No, well, it's the way you look at racing, isn't it? I mean, for me, I would never back a juvenile at Royal Ascot 4 to 6. But do I think he's going to win? It's an emphatic yes. I think he's miles better than the rest. But it's a juvenile race at Royal Ascot. Who knows what could happen? What could go wrong? It's a really hot day. Loads of things can go wrong. But for me, at 4 to 6, it's a no. Do I think he's going to win? It's a massive yes.
Do you think he's a very good juvenile?
I don't know, but I'm not sure there's very much in against him that is that good. I mean, I saw the market this morning. There wasn't much. It was long, big prices, everything else, wasn't it?
There's a lot of horses making up the numbers.
Exactly.
There's one horse. The one horse I think that could be is the French horse Afghan.
Yes.
You know, he's got a proper pedigree. Memas, who you've dissed already, Tom, but
I don't diss him. It's just what he is.
No, he still gets some very good, sprinting 2-year-olds anyway, doesn't he? And
not at Ascot. Did you hear that stat yesterday? That was an interesting one. Yeah.
What was that?
He's like 0 from 60 something at Ascot.
Yeah,
which is really surprising because I love Memas.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, maybe that counts against him.
Well, look, it's one of those things. It's a number, and you read it and you go, "Ooh," but what's the reason? Like, what's the problem with Ascot?
And it's hard to win races.
There's no reason. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
it's like Colin Keane, 2 from whatever
amazing.
at Ascot.
On the positive
prior
side
to
for
this week.
Ascot, his dam was second in the Queen
That's
Mary.
right.
So she was obviously very good, precocious, and
He did show a great turn of foot, didn't he?
I was really impressed with him. I mean, he took a pull to come out of the race at about halfway, and then just quickened down the outside, beat an Aga Khan horse. Now, it was full of newcomers. You don't know what they were as such, but well-bred Aga Khan horse in second, who was well-backed, sent-off favourite, and the pair pulled about 8 lengths clear of the rest of the field. So I was impressed with him.
And we had some members of our team who were there live. Producer Sam was there, Rodders was there on the day for Afghan, and I think the exact quote was, "I've never seen a 2-year-old quicken like that live." So they were impressed.
He was impressive, yeah.
What price is he? What price is he at?
Afghan is 6 to 1, Tom. Yeah?
No, not for me.
No
but
facial expression whatsoever there when I said
I think Charles Darwin's going to win.
Okay. Ali, can we find anything to beat this favourite?
Well, the rumours are that it's an absolute beast, so probably not. But in an angle I quite like at a bigger price each way, Sandal's Song, who's bought by Wathen. Chase Clay, their American representative, bought him. He won a race at Gulfstream Park, which is the same route that Crimson Advocate did. Trained by George Weaver, trained Crimson Advocate to come over here. Be interesting to see what he looks like in the parade ring, but at 14 to 1, round about that. Quite a nice price.
Okay, there we go. And there's been a bit of money for that as well. So 12s from 14s for Sandal Song. So you're kind of in the camp. You're kind of in the O'Brien camp. You work for his son. You know what's going on. Let's call it a spade. You know what's going on.
The rumours are true.
The rumours this week were that the pecking order as regards level of certainties, it's Charles Darwin was there, probably True Love was there, and I think they were probably a little bit surprised by Gestad in the Coventry. So if this is the one that was definitely going to win, and they've still got the likes of Moments of Joy to come in the Chesham, if this was the one that was definitely going to win and the other two have bolted up, could 4 to 6 actually be value?
I'd say confidence levels will be pretty high. And look, 4 to 6 is already tight enough, but I wouldn't see him going off bigger than that. I think everyone that's here and is watching on TV will be very impressed by him. If they're impressed by the filly yesterday, they'll be really impressed by this guy. Saw him at Naas. He's impressive. And that day he was 1,000,000 to 1 on. People thought that, what could we possibly learn here? But he was actually very good on the clock. And the runner-up has come out yesterday and stood up the form quite well, I thought.
She ran well.
So, I think this is a very good horse, and he is what he looks. I say he's just very fast, and he's always just going to be a sprinter, and I think that's what you want for the Norfolk. And I could see him. We know what his full brother did in the fullness of time. His full brother got beat as Fab Blackbeard. He was beating Fab in the Coventry, but went on to win 2 Group 1s as a 2-year-old. And I'd say this fella might get family vengeance today now.
The one worry, is it a worry? Is he quick enough?
Oh, I'd say there's no doubt. I think he's really quick.
Okay.
We won't get too far ahead of ourselves now, but
go on. We like this. Go on.
No, I'd love to see him in a Nunthorpe,
Oh, is that quick?
this
Is he?
year, yeah. Geez, imagine him with 8 stone nothing on his back, and you'll see the size of him. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves there. We'll let him get the job done today first before we talk like that.
Okay, so Kevin Blake said that Charles Darwin definitely wins the
Clip it up, get it ready.
There we go. So is it a unanimous panel for Charles Darwin then?
I'm Afghan.
You're going with Afghan, okay, Afghan, and you're taking him on as well?
and Charles Darwin, but Sandal Song each way.
Okay, so Sandal Song each way. I came into this week saying whatever race Naval Light runs in, I will be on Naval Light. I was hoping he wouldn't be running against Charles Darwin of all of them, but I do think he's a very good horse. I was impressed by what I saw at Beverley just in that last 200 yards. And one thing I love, and it sounds so silly, when a horse gets a smack for the first time and you see the reaction. His reaction was, if you just look, he just got one smack and he absolutely exploded forward, and he got very close at the line. The form is not near what Charles Darwin has done, but I do think he's a very good horse. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to give Charles Darwin most to do. So I am with Naval Light. Before we get on with the show, we've got some market movers for you. So Paddy Power have been on to get the biggest market movers of the day so far. Afghan has been back from 6s into 7s, as you heard there. Sing Us a Song is now 130 from 9 to 2 in the 305. In the 340, Ecstatic is 10 to 1 from 16 to 1. Ecstatic in the Gold Cup. The big movers, Dubai Future. Dubai Future was as big as 40s, now into 25s. Dubai Future. Into Britannia, the two for support are Serengeti and Shout, who are both 20s and 25s. In the 535, Jackknife is now 130 from 9 to 2. And in the 610, it's about English Oak, who is now 5 to 1 from 6 to 1. So those are the biggest movers over the last few hours since you got up this morning with Paddy Power. So, Harry Wilson, Harry's Houdini act. I told you he was good, and he was amongst the winners yesterday. He told you that My Cloud was not just his bet of the day, it was his bet of the week, and he duly obliged. Let's find out what our Shrudy Harry has got for us today.
My best bet for Thursday comes in the Britannia, and it's Rafed. He was a comfortable winner of a Newbury novice last time he hit the track, helped by the fitting of a tongue tie. That form looks rock solid, and he looks just the type to progress now handicapping. He rates a 1-star play. The other selection comes in the King George V Stakes. At a big price, I'm going for the Cursor. He just looks underestimated in the market for one who's definitely going to improve for stepping up in trip. He's a big horse. He's been running at tracks that haven't suited, but Ascot should suit him down to the ground. His Doncaster form is solid, and I think he's too big in the market. He rates a 1-star selection each way.
So there we go. That's Harry's Houdini act. Can he continue his winning streak today? I told you he was good. Keep the faith in Harry Wilson. So let's move on to the 305. It is the King George V Stakes, and Merchant is now 9 to 4. Some serious gambles this week. Merchant is 9 to 4 for William Haggis and Tom Marquand. Sing Us a Song, 130. Serious contender on the drift. Was as short as 7 to 2 with Paddy Perry yesterday. Now out to 5 to 1. Gunship is 7 to 1. Masai Moon is 14 to 1 with Lightning Moon. Light as Air, very, very weak Light as Air. They can't give Light as Air away. Light as Air away. 16 to 1 now, haven't been as short as 10s, and it is 18 to 1 bar. Big negative in the market for Light of Air, so that's one you can cross off. Kevin, what do you fancy?
Light as Air. I actually really like this race every year. Full of unexposed 3-year-olds stepping up and trip, most of them for the first time. Something that's really important to remember with this race is the draw. Counterintuitive draw bias here. You don't want to be really low. It's very, very challenging to overcome that. It can be done, as a great man once said. Crystal Black overcame it in the Duke of Edinburgh last year, but he, was a proper group horse. But it's very, very difficult, and being very high is not a negative at all. Light as Air is Aidan's second string here. These two met at Leopardstown back in March.
Yeah, where Light as Air should have won.
Yeah, and that's an electric piece of form. That's worked out really, really strongly. They've kept serious contender since then for this, I'd imagine. Light as Air has run once since, and I would argue probably should have won that day as well. Look, I think he's progressive. Cheek pieces have gone on. Trip is going to suit. You're getting that type of price because Ryan's riding the other one. Drawn in the right place. Ticked a lot of boxes for me, and I often find myself going with O'Brien's second strings here because the market gives you so much compensation for it. And he'll do for me. Light as Air.
Okay, Light as Air. Now 16 to 1 for Kevin Blake. I'm going the other way. I do think Light as Air should have won that day, but I get the impression from the camp that they think Serious Contender is probably potentially a stakes performer, so I think he's still well handicapped. I'm with Serious Contender. So 2 Ballydoyle tips to start our preview. Tom?
Neither of them. I would love Light as Air on his first run. Didn't like him on his last run. I thought he put his head in the air a bit, cheek pieces on. So I'm a little bit worried about him at the trip.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Going up to 1.5 miles, 1.25 miles. Love the horse. I thought he was one of the eye catchers of the season first time up. Really disappointed with him last time, and I thought Ryan would ride him. I really did. So maybe that's why the drift's on. I thought the 2 at the top of the market were obvious. Merchant's form at York is very strong. The third, I think, came out and won, didn't he? At
Many
Doncaster.
Men, yeah.
Many Men came out and won. I think that form's very strong.
Rahib ran well yesterday.
Rahib ran exceptionally well in the Queen's Vase yesterday. He was a bit unlucky, actually. He should have got closer to the winner. So I think that form's very strong. Not surprised to see him at the top of the market. He's well drawn, like Kevin pointed out. It's a very pertinent point that we saw on the first day. Your horses were all drawn in stall 1. It was impossible for Ryan. You have no options.
Yeah.
You either go forward or you get hampered. It seems like that. And so, do you know what I mean? And so it's really difficult from stall 1 on the round course in these big fields. So I'm with Kev on liking the outside draws. I also think Sing Us a Song, I see I'm not sure it's a 7-2 shot, but the Sandown form is very good.
Well, it's not a 7-2 shot because it's a 130 shot.
It's even worse. Even worse.
The only thing I'd say, if you watch that Sandown race back, Gunship was really badly positioned through the race, wasn't he? And they're on nearly identical terms today. Gunship finished off his race. I think he was over a half a second quicker than Sing Us a Song through the last 3 furlongs from a bad position at Sandown. He's double the price.
Yeah.
They're on similar terms.
Yeah.
You watch it back and think, well, yeah, okay, he's got 2.5 to fine, but under different circumstances, maybe he would have done. And then he's gone to Newcastle and he's beaten Warhawk, who's won twice since.
That's right.
You know, that's good form. It was only a 6-runner race at Newcastle, but it's proven to be really strong form. So I wouldn't rule him out.
Definitely not.
Murphy's on him, stall 10, tactics, rides, getting the right ride's going to be important. So I think he's got a chance.
7-1, bit of value.
Yeah, and there's a horse, Daiquiri Bay, that I'd give a mention to as well. Well, I'll let you talk about it. Go on, Ali, you take over.
I was going to talk about Gunship, and then I thought, don't worry, I've got Daiquiri Bay in there. And if for all your reasons, I think Gunship is, and if you like Sing Us a Song, then Gunship is an obvious one to look at because of the prices. Daiquiri Bay, interesting, Alan King, he's been, a few years ago, he was third in the trainers title
he's done well here.
You know, he doesn't send runners just to have a nice day out, and they thought a lot of it when it won at Chester. Were raving about it, thought really highly when he won at Chester at May. Since ran at Doncaster, finished second.
Very good horse
to a horse that beats him, who's running in a group race tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he's 25-1.
Yeah.
Just nice price.
And stall 22.
Stall 22.
Not the negative, as Kevin's been saying, that you might think, and he'll just be dropped out the back, taking his time.
Yeah, just a nice price.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Beautiful. So it's selection time. You're with Daiquiri
Bay and Gunship, yeah.
Gunship, okay,
I'm the same too.
Oh.
Yeah, the same too?
We'll have,
there we are.
half each on each.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, is it going in together?
Well, I nailed my colours to Sing Us a Song in the paper, so I'll stick with that.
Okay, and Kevin?
Light as air.
Light as air, and I am a serious contender, man. So we've got plenty of crowd interaction on the show this morning, and everybody is fascinated by Tom Segal. So Tom Leach says he's finally out of his living room. Right? So there we go. He actually is. Look, you can touch him. He is real.
It's true. It's not a hologram.
It's not AI. Tom Segal is here, so Tom Leach is just delighted that you're out of your living room. Scott Innes says Tom Segal on course is absolute madness. Can't believe that you're actually on course. And Mark,
For how long though?
Not very long. There's a dog that needs walking in about half an hour.
and Mark Amos says, has Tom seen the sun before?
Am I that white?
Yeah.
Am I that? No, not really.
You do get out and about. Tom is great crack. Get
walking
Tom
the dog.
And Tom, when we get you
I'm
out
back
and about,
tomorrow and Saturday, believe it or not.
3 days in a row.
Amazing.
With the racing?
For Tom Segal. There you go. He's here. He's here. Get your comments in. Anything that we've said so far that you disagree with, tell us. We love that. We love a bit of crowd interaction. So there you go. Get your comments in and get your likes in, because not only, right, here we go, right? So the more likes we get, you're getting Tom's horse to follow for the whole season, which people usually have to pay huge money to get, okay? But you're getting it for free.
How much does it cost?
It's free.
$3.95.
How much do I get of that? Zero.
If you press like for our show, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you leave a comment, what we're going to do is, Kevin Blake, you're up now. Right, you're
Here
up.
we go.
Kevin Blake is going to give you a horse from the Joseph O'Brien stable.
And Martin's got a winner.
Oh, he's coming later. So Kevin Blake, your job, right, for the next 32 minutes is to think of a horse from the Joseph O'Brien stable that our lovely Good Morning Royal Ascot viewers can follow for the rest of the season.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. So
Got it
get your
already.
likes in, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave a comment. Let's interact with our show this morning. Moving on to the 340, it is the Ribblesdale Stakes, and at the moment we keep having flip-flopping favourites, but right now at half 8, Serenity Prayer is your 11-4 favourite. Catalina del Carpio is 3-1. Garden of Eden is 15-2 on the drift. Life is Beautiful 8-1. Plenty of support in the last couple of hours for Go Go Boots. Go Go Boots is now 10s from 16s. Caspi Star is 11s. Ecstatic has been well supported as well, 16s into 11s. Lady Vivian is 11s as well. Understudy 25-1. Holly's Graces, can Henry de Bromhead get another winner, is 33-1, and Island Hoppin is also 33-1. So Ali, we're going to start with you here because Martin kind of got in too early there.
Yeah,
nicked your homework.
Yeah, Life is Beautiful for 2 reasons. I think that Falakea, who she finished second behind, is a beast, is a machine, really like that. So, and then obviously the Gosden's in fine form. So I like Life is Beautiful of the market leaders. But I was quite buoyed by Kevin going for second string Aidan O'Brien's, because I quite like Ecstatic in this one.
So do a lot of people.
Yes, a bit further down, around about 12-1. Ryan has been on board this and has been over to Ireland to ride it for most of her starts. So I read into that they liked her and they thought she was the number one at that time, and didn't really have a run of a race this year, and has met crowd trouble in running every time. There's been really good excuses. So I think if she gets a good run, well drawn, and likes this trip, could be overpriced.
Okay, there we go. Ecstatic 11-1 for Aly Vance. Right, Martin? You gonna bit of plagiarism again here?
No, we're not on the same page this time. Serenity Prayer. I do like this filly. I think she's going to improve over the 1.5 miles. I think she's Dubawi out of a Galileo mare who won over 1 3/4 miles. She looked to stay in tight when she won first time, let alone at York, behind Whirl. That was a good run, second time in her career, quick off the back of her debut as well. I think there's quite a lot more improvement in her, and I'm not sure how strong this race is. I don't know what you guys think, but it doesn't look a strong race. So she's got the form already after 2 starts. She's got the pedigree to back it up as well, and then go on to another level over the new trip, I think. So I do like her. If you want one at a bigger price, I think Caspi Star could run well. She ran a big race at Chester with a wide trip. Should have finished second probably, behind Mini Hawk obviously, but I do prefer Serenity Prayer.
Okay, Serenity Prayer. Now, just about your favourite 11-4 for Martin Dixon. Tom, it's not a good Ribblesdale. Let's call a spade a spade. This is winnable.
Very much so. It often is. I mean, I backed Cal Palmer last year, got beat. How did that happen?
The Arc this year.
How did that happen? It wasn't Oisin's finest moment, but he was drawn in stall 1, you see.
Yeah, killer.
You're going to give us a tip, no?
Funnily enough, I think the horse Ryan rides is becoming a decent price. Because I think it's funny because people talk about
Garden of Eden, by the way.
People talk about Aidan having all these magnificently bred. This is a Saxon Warrior out of a Kodiak. It didn't cost a lot of money, this one, but she's getting better and she stays. The one thing she's going to do is relish 1.5 miles. That might be all it takes. They've got such a look. They were first and second, and they were 1 mile clear in the Oaks. They've got the best horses. I get the Ecstatic angle, and I mean, Serenity Prayer is owned by the same boys anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they've got the bases covered. I just thought Garden of Eden, she's just going to stay. She's going to stay well, and maybe that'll be the thing that sends me in her favour. But I think it's a.
You're doing a lot of nodding along.
Doing a lot of nodding.
You agree?
It's not patronising nodding. I agree.
This is the man that had the tricast.
No, he didn't get the tricast.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ! How many times we have to tell people?
I don't
watch you.
I've not heard about this.
You've not heard about it?
I mean, no one. It's very quiet, isn't it? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Nobody's talking about it.
No.
Right. We'll move forward. Garden of Eden I'd be with as well. Not a good Ribblesdale. And it just, people would look at her 2-year-old form and go, oh, you're dreadfully exposed, you're not very good, etc. But Aidan, when he gets these fillies and they start to roll, like you just don't know where they'll end up. And like we've seen some like Group 1 fillies that started off as slowly as she did. I'm not saying she's that, but she won't need to be to win this. And I was impressed with her last time when she was stepped up and tripped at 10 furlongs. Stepping up again is just what she wants. So I'm going for a first string this time. Garden of Eden.
Okay, Garden of Eden. So Tom and Kevin, they're on the same page with Garden of Eden. I think Garden of Eden has got a cracking chance, but if Go-Go Boots hadn't ran in the Oaks and just came straight here, she'd definitely be half the price she is now. She'd be vying for favouritism, I'd say, because her Misadora run was really good, having met trouble, and that form has worked out with Whirl. So I think she's got a cracking chance of Cocoa Boots. I'd just
definitely.
be worried about that Oaks Run.
She's a bit wild.
She is
a bit wild.
She got cheek or
blinkers
today.
Yeah.
That could send her.
Like I wonder if she want even. Does she want a mile and a half even? You know, would
I'm
she be
not
happier
sure.
back at 10 maybe?
Yeah, you're right. I'll go back. Garden of Eden. I've changed my mind. Garden of Eden, yeah.
Whatever
There we
he
go.
says, whatever he says.
That is, you're with Serenity Prayer, and Ali, you were
Ecstatic.
with Ecstatic. There we go. That is the Ribblesdale Stakes at 340. Moving swiftly on to the big one. It's the Gold Cup. It's at 420, and it's an ever-changing market, ladies and gentlemen, because you might not believe this, but we now have joint favourites. Trawlerman is 7-4, joint favourite with Illinois. Candelari is 7-2 for Mikel Barcelona. Sweet William is 15-2. Dubai Future 25-1 from 40s. Coltrane is 35-1 along with Wonder Legend, and it's 50-1 outsider of the field, Yashin. So Tom, is the market right now with Trawlerman the same price as Illinois? So what you've got here is proven Gold Cup form against potential. Where do you stand?
It's a tricky one. I prefer Trawlerman today. And the reason I like Trawlerman is I think he's going to be better this year than he was last year. And the reason is he's had a better preparation. He came in last year straight off the Dubai run. This year, Gosden's always use trials. They always use trials. That's the one thing that's been throughout history they've done. Last year, Trawlerman came here straight from Dubai, didn't have a run. I thought his run at Sandham was as impressive as he's been many times. He loves Ascot. And last year in the race, the filly, the mare, trained by David Menwizier, that I can't remember the name of.
Keys
Chorister. Messed him about a bit down the back straight. Maybe got him lit up a bit when he was not at the right time, and he still was only beating the length. Now, Illinois could be classes above. He could be the next Kyprios. He could be the next Stradivarius, but he hasn't done it yet. So that is why I, at this moment, prefer Trawlerman, because I just think he's very good, and people don't think he's very good, sort of thing.
Will Illinois stay?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they don't get it wrong, do they? I mean, how many times have we had horses from Aidan O'Brien come into the Gold Cup asking that question, and they all stay. They all stay. Aidan's brilliant. He'll have conditioned him perfectly for a Gold Cup. That's been his aim all season. He'll be spot on for it. I think he'll stay. It's whether he's good enough to beat Trawlerman, who I think is, if without Kyprios, he might have won a couple of these. Do you know what I mean? He's beaten Kyprios as well, let's not forget. So I think he's really good. So, I'm not sure he'll start the same. I think Illinois will start favourite, to be honest, because I think that's where the sexy one will be Illinois, won't he? So, but for me, I like Trawlerman. I think he's an underrated horse.
Okay, collector's item from Tom Segal, a 7-4 tip. He thinks Trawlerman is going to win the Gold Cup. Now, Ali, we spoke before the show. We're both on the same page here. Do you want to go first or second?
I disagree. I don't think Trawlerman's trial was. I know he won by 5 lengths.
Whoa, here we go.
I don't know. I just don't think beating Coltrane is.
What do you want him to do? Win by 20?
No, I know.
No, Alex, you're going to say, don't back
exactly.
down,
I
right?
don't. Yeah, stop. I just think that he's the safe bet.
Trawlerman.
Yes.
Well, he probably is. Yeah.
But 2-1 is not a sort of bet that you won. I don't. Anyway, yes, we're going for the French horse, which I think could be the next staying champion. Could be. And there is obviously the question mark, but looks like in his last run, he looked like he was galloping to the line. He's a big striding horse. I think he's the one for me, and I know that you are as well.
Absolutely.
Always be nice to the host and pick his nap.
Don't worry.
And then,
I'm used to being abused, don't worry. Okay, my thing with Candelari is, first of all, the French horse ran terrible yesterday in the Queen's Vase, ran terrible. But my French experts, I was going to go like that, and then I was like, oh, that's really bad. My French experts, Liz Price and Scott Burton, who were sitting beside me in the press room, they didn't fancy the horse yesterday at all. And they just thought it was maybe a step too soon for the horse yesterday. But they are both really sweet on Candelari. And why I like Candelari as well is he's never ran beyond 2 miles, obviously, so this is step up and trip. But if you watch the new Group 1 at Longchamp the last day, where the name of which I can't pronounce, it's a lot of V's in it, isn't there?
There's one V in it. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, if you stop the tape, or there's no tapes anymore. So if you press pause on your Sky remote or Dodgy Box remote, whatever you have, you can actually pause on Dodgy Box, by the way. So that's the advantages of Sky. So if you pause it about 200 yards from the line, you think blanket finish. There's about 7 of them in the line. Savannah's Night is there, Trushan is there, and you say, right, this is just any type of form. But As it goes on, in the last 200 yards, Candelaria ended up winning by 3.5 lengths. And I think if they went another couple of furlongs, he would have absolutely blitzed them all together. I think all he does is stay. He's incredibly slow. And I actually think it's the trip that's the little bit of a worry, in that Illinois might have more pace than him. But if it turns into a real proper test, which it usually does, the Gold Cup, I think Candelaria is going to absolutely take a massive leap forward for the step up and trip. So I'm very much in the Candelaria.
Yes.
There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
There's always a couple, aren't there?
Martin, come on, don't let us down. Come on.
Come on.
Do you know what? I'll be perfectly honest. We'll quickly move on to Kev, because I looked at this race and thought, I don't want to have a bet in that. I don't want to have a bet in that. Like, you've got Illinois. I don't really know how good he's going to be over this sort of trip. Trawlerman's dead solid. He's got to within a length of Kyprios, who's, you know, one of the best staying horses in the last 30 years. And he did that in this race last year. And then I agree with you about the French horse. You've got to respect it. I don't know how good he is either. So forget about it, move on, have a bet in another race. That's my
balloon
take.
has been deflated there.
Yeah, I'm closer to Martin now, I'd say, in that I just struggled a bit. I looked at the front of this market and all I saw was question marks and unknowns, and the prices you're taking, if you're taking a view, just are a little bit tight. So I did something completely different. I'm going to venture into the place only market and side with an old friend, Coltrane.
Okay.
You know, it just wouldn't surprise me. I like his preparation. Like, maybe he isn't quite as good as he was. He was second in this race, whatever it was, 2 years ago, the Courage Mon Ami. And I just like you might look at it and say, oh, he didn't progress from his first run to a second. I feel he did. You know, he was well put in his place last time, but I was happy with it, with a view to coming here. And if you're Andrew Balding, you know, what are you thinking? You want to get him back here to have one last hurrah, and they'll ride him in a way that accentuates his chance of maybe sneaking into third. That's why I'm suggesting win only rather than going for the place only rather than going for the home run of the each way bet. I'd be quite happy to put both those stakes into the place market.
Okay, so we have our sponsors, Paddy Power, to have a top 2 market, a top 3 market, and top 4 market. What do you want?
Look, go on, give me the prices and I'll make up my mind.
Okay, so Coltrane to finish in the top 4. There's only 8 runners. To finish in the top 4 is 9-4. Coltrane to finish in the top 3 is 5-1, and Coltrane to finish in the top 2 is 11-1. So 11-1, 5-1, and 9-4.
5-1 for the 3. That'll do me.
Okay, so the middle of the 3. Okay, yeah. So there you go. Coltrane to finish in the first 3. Graphics will have to work it out to try and get that written up.
Look at this, firing up, specials markets. You know, we're ticking every box.
And on that, right? Let's ask Paddy Power by the end of the show, if the traders are watching, if you're in there, text me, right? Give us a price on Charles Darwin for the Nunthorpe. Kevin put it up, says that it's definitely with the Nunthorpe. Yes. Kevin reckons it's going to break the track record in the Nunthorpe at York. Okay, so Charles Darwin, give us a price, Paddy Power, for the Nunthorpe, and we get that by the end of the show. So selection time for the Gold Cup. Aly Vance,
Candelaria,
Martin Dixon.
Well, if you want one, Sweet William each way.
Well, I do want one because
Sweet William each way.
Show, Martin, right? The reason you're on here is we go through each race. You've done it before. You know the drill. We do each race.
I was hardly going to say no.
Sweet William each way.
Sweet William each way.
Yeah.
Okay, Sweet William each way for Martin. Tom.
Trawlerman.
Kevin.
Coltrane 3 places.
Coltrane 3 places at 5-1, and I am with Candelaria. That is the 420 at Ascot. It is, of course, the Gold Cup, and best of luck with all your bets in that. Now, that is the Gold Cup, but this is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big one of the week. It is the 5 o'clock. It is the Britannia Stakes, and at the moment with Paddy Power, Rafid is your 9-2 favourite. Parole Doro is 13-2. Labat is 7-1. Brave Mission is also 7-1. Arabian Story is 15-2. Taroom is 15-2. Consolidation is 12-1, along with Fear Not, and it's 16-1. Bar, can I go first?
Yes.
Okay. I obviously fancied Jar on Tuesday in the Walford, and things didn't go according to plan. Got locked up a little bit. Mightn't have won, but would have got very close. Making excuses, it didn't win. Okay, so it's gone. But that was my strongest fancy of the week. This is my second strongest fancy of the week. I am all over Brave Mission here for Rafe Beckett, who finished second in a 7-furlong race here last month. And the minute that race was over, I was like, that's your Britannia winner. He's by Frankel. He's going to absolutely adore this step up to a mile. I just love the way Rafe has campaigned him. It's like as if he said to himself ages ago that the first time we want to have a crack at a mile is for a big one, for the Britannia. He always lays one out for this race. This year it's Brave Mission. I think this is a really good horse, and I think you're only going to see the best of him now that he steps up to a mile. He's drawn in stall 20, which is absolutely perfect. Colin Keane is in the saddle. I think there's loads to like. He was 12s yesterday. He's 7s now. I still think Sevens is a good price, and Brave Mission is my banker of the day. There you go. Okay, got that out of my system. Okay.
Is his form any good, Dave?
Oh, jeez.
Just putting it out there.
Okay, so wasn't expecting to be challenged. He was beaten by Parafizz last time here. Okay, Parafizz got the run of the race, set the fractions, dictated. Parafizz went to Goodwood and was beaten since, but was caught on the inside rail and did a lot of work early, had to come across from a high draw. I think that Parafizz form is okay.
I'm testing him. He's coming up with the answers here. He's really delivering.
We thought he was a clown, but actually,
if he ever ends up in court,
you'd be right.
If he ever ends up in court, he'll stand up well to cross-examination again.
So yeah, Brave Mission 7-1 Britannia. And as people will know, right, I'm in a Liverpool group, so I think there's 10 of us in the Liverpool group, and every so often we have a cut of one. We haven't had one actually for a couple of months. I think it was Cheltenham was the last one, maybe with Caldwell Potter, but we're having a go today with Brave Mission. We backed them yesterday at 12. So there you go, Brave Mission in the Britannia.
Nice,
right, Kevin?
Nice easy one in the Britannia. Yeah, this race is so hard. I find it, I won't talk for long now. But William Haggis, I have massive respect for him in these races. The horse is a complete unknown. I liked the performance visually last time. You know, there's obvious scope to improve for the longer trip based on pedigree, etc. And just the market strength in the last 24 hours, you know, especially. I've got a lot of respect for Haggis. He knows what he has. And that's a very token selection. I'll give a quick mention to the Tribal Nation for Joseph. Ground will be a small question mark, but is moving in the right direction, and that run in the handicap last time has worked out well already, and just wouldn't be a shock if he ran well at a big price. But Haggis is the man, I think.
Okay, Haggis is the man. So it's Rafid for Kevin. 9-2 now, your favourite with Paddy Power. Tom, I know you're petrified now because I do read your column every day, and you're keen on Brave Mission as well. I can only apologise.
Can I have 12?
I'd say you've got 16s, I'd say.
No, can I have 12 in the race?
Oh, sorry.
So hard.
I still wouldn't be. I still wouldn't be confident, to be honest.
I mean, I like Brave Mission. It's just a profile thing, isn't it? It's just he would have been trained for the race. It's Judd Monty. I know I listened to Barry Marm talk about it the other day, and he was very sweet on Brave Mission being one of his best chances of the week. So I get the Brave Mission angle, but it's so hard. You don't know which side's going to be favoured. You don't know where they're going to go. There's lots. I'd throw in a word for the coal horse, Affantico, who I thought did exceptionally well to finish where he did in the Silver Bowl. Now, I don't know if the Silver Bowl was as good as the normal Silver Bowls, but he looked all over the place to begin with, and looked like being tailed off and then rattled home to finish third. I'm not a great fan of the late headway monkeys, really, because they can be flattered. But I just thought he was 25-33 to 1.
Warren Fencerman's on him.
And
as
Warren
well,
Fencerman, who is excellent. He was brilliant on that sprinter at Epsom.
Stormy Impact.
Yeah. I think he's very good value for his £5 claim. So that takes him to a lower mark than he ran off that day. I could just see him finishing. I like finishers. We've seen it all week. He's a finisher. He could run well, but you could make a case for so many.
Really good young rider. Even Gavin Cromwell booked him for My Mate Mozzie the other day. So he's really catching the eye of plenty of trainers, Warren Fenderman. So Affantico is 16-1 with Paddy Power from Pricewise. Martin, have you a strong opinion?
Well, on Rafed, if you are back in the favourite, I saw him at Newmarket earlier on in the season. He was as big as a bull. Like, he just wasn't fit first time out. Ran a lovely race, but he's clearly stepped forward massively at Newbury. I think there will be a lot of ongoing improvement there. So he's too short for me. I mean, to be fair, Parole d'Oro is the horse I'm keen on, but he's shortened up quite a lot in the market. Came up against Taroom at Thirsk last time out. Looked like he had him beaten, went 1.03 in running, travelled all over him. Don't know what happened, but they've stuck the tongue tie on him, so perhaps he just sort of made a bit of a noise, didn't quite finish off his race. That could help him. He was also giving a couple of pounds to Taroom that day. He's gone on to Haydock, won the Silver Bowl, which is traditionally a good trial for this sort of race. He's much better off with Taroom today, and he's a strong travelling horse with, I think, a lot of ability and strong form, to be fair, from even his first run, which was here, so he's got Ascot form as well.
That's your selection?
It is. Parole d'Oro.
No strong feelings like you, but I think Taroom, for me, if I was going to land on one, nicely drawn. Roger Varian had the good winner yesterday of the big handicap. Tough Colt should like this.
Yeah.
I just quite like horses that coming in here and off back of a nice string of wins, confidence high. But yeah, one for you guys this race.
The good-looking members of the panel. One for us. Okay, here we go. So Taroom for Ali at 15-2. Martin, you were with Parole d'Oro at 13-2 for Michael Bell. Tom, we're going to give you Afantico, 16 to 1?
Fine, yeah.
16 to 1 for you. Kevin is with the Jolly Rafid, and I'm very much in the Brave Mission Camp. So that is the Britannia at 5 o'clock. We want more likes. We want more likes. So you're going to get Kevin's horse to follow from the Joseph O'Brien stable. You're going to get Tom Segal, Mr. Pricewise himself, the reason you all buy the Racing Post for the last 30 years. He's going to give you his horse to follow for the season. Martin Dixon.
I'm up as well.
Martin Dixon.
Yeah. I'm really worried what you're going to promise people.
So Martin Dixon, we want you to strip down to... No, we want, right? We want you, okay? Horse Watchers, hugely successful group of owners, right? Your team is just building and building and building. Better quality, more winners, okay? We want the Horse Watchers horse to follow for the season.
When do you want it?
I want it. You have about 11 minutes.
Oh, right.
Jeez, I'm going to have 2 minutes to do something.
So, wait till it comes to me and Ali now, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Get those likes in, and if you don't get the likes, you're not getting these horse to follow. We don't get above, how many will we say? 800 likes. We'll try and get above 800 likes, and if we get above 800... 800.
Oh,
800, yeah, 800. We should get the 8. Okay. Moving on to the 5:35, it is the Hampton Court Stakes. And Detain is your 3-to-1 favourite for the Goslins and Colin Keane. Jackknife, very well supported, the best supported horse in the race. Jackknife now 130 from as big as 9 to 2. Trinity College is going the other way from 130 out to 9 to 2. High Stock is 6 to 1. Tornado Alert is 7 to 1. And it's 14 to 1 bar. Martin Dixon, we'll kick off with you here. Detain is your 3-to-1 favourite. An early horse is how I describe him. He looks as though he's someday going to pop up and win a big one. Is it going to be today?
Well, nearly horse in Group 1s, to be fair, on his last couple of starts. I think he's got a very good chance. This is a big drop in class for him from his last couple of runs. I think 1.25 miles is what he wants. I still think he's going to improve a little bit more, to be honest. He started out last season, looked like he could be a world beater, didn't he, when he won first time by 7 lengths on the all-weather, and he's kind of got there. He's got to a very high level, but I still think there is a bit more to come from him. So yeah, he'd be my selection in the race. I think it is a drop in class for him, and I think he's getting better over the trip.
You agree?
I do. Shaped really well in the Pouliche. Said a lot to do. Got a bit more involved in the race, and the Prix Jockey Club ran very well. Finished very close up, and this is just a different class of race.
So did Trinity College, though. Why do you think he's going to be Trinity College?
I just think there's going to be more run-to-run improvement, you know.
Okay.
And just the way the race panned on the day, I'd favour Detain in the rematch. And look, I know they're priced accordingly, but yeah, I'm happy with them.
Okay, so we've 2 votes for Detain. Tom, you're the sandwich here. The filling in the sandwich, I should say.
It's a tricky one. Thank you very much.
The filling in the sandwich.
I like Detain. Slightly worried. Seen all week. Last to challenge. Is he going to be really strong enough? Is he going to be really strong at the line? Don't know. That would be my slight concern about him. I think Trinity College got a very good chance. Jackknife was going to be high on my list until yesterday when he was like 4 to 1. I thought that's very short for a horse that's got loads to prove still. He was eye-catching, wasn't he, in the Heron Stakes over a mile, and he will everything points to him liking the 1.25 miles, but 3 to 1, he's got a bit of, he's got some stepping up to do to get with these horses that have been running in Group 1s. So I thought it was between the 2 of them, really. I thought Tornado Alert for Syed Ben Saror was the other one. I don't think he really liked Epsom, and he ran all right. He was 6th in the Derby. Whether that's a great Derby, we'll wait to be seen. I think the winner's very good. I'm not sure about the rest, but we'll see. We'll see how that form works out. But I thought he was 4th in the Guineas, let's not forget. He's a pretty good horse. You know, he's got some form there. So James MacDonald was on the telly yesterday while I was at home in my shorts while you were not sweating. And
you spend much time at home, Tom?
Quite a bit, yeah. And he said he was his best rider of the week.
Wow.
After the Crimson Advocate had won, said that was his next best chance. So Syed Ben Saror has a very, very good record at this meet. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ran well.
So your selection?
Well, I went for Detain on the graphics, but I've changed to Tornado Alert now.
Yeah, keep them under toes.
The clowns are on it.
Keep them under toes. There we go. So it is.
I'm in the Detain camp, but now I'm going to go for Tornado Alert. Yeah. One of those.
We're all on for a clean sweep.
For all the obvious reasons, and I think the Goslins are in amazing form at the moment, so this week as well. But Tornado Alert, I really respect Syed. And they're always a really good price. So
Tornado. So 2
no,
votes.
but one of the 2.
It's decision time now, Ali.
Oh.
You have to pick between the 2.
What price? Tornado? He's not.
So
he's
you're
not such a
talking
big
about
price.
7 to 1 versus 3 to 1.
Detain.
Detain. Okay, 3 votes for Detain. We have got 1 vote for Tornado.
What about you, DJ?
I'm with Trinity College. I think Trinity College is just really solid, will run his race. If Detain might be a little bit classier, a little bit speedier, but I just think he's going to be bang there 2 out and might just be good enough to hold on. Wouldn't be a strong opinion. It's not Brave Mission, but I do think Trinity College has potentially got a really good chance.
Dave went to Trinity College.
That's what I was going to say.
Go there. Before we go on to the last race, right? Producer Dan, one of our producers, okay, makes this show look absolutely fantastic, okay? He's really keen on a horse trained by Joseph O'Brien running at Leopardstown tonight. Loves the breeding, right? And it's a newcomer, right? It's a newcomer called Defiantly, who's ridden by Ronan Whelan, who's running a maiden at Leopardstown tonight at 8 o'clock. He loves the breeding, loves the Middle Earth kind of in the pedigree and all that. So is Defiantly going to win the 8 o'clock at Leopardstown tonight?
We never give people too encouragement first time out with Joseph. Watch with a view to the future would generally be the advice, and if they go and win, especially this year, he's just taking his time a little bit more with the babies, and I'd be building in more run-to-run improvement than you necessarily would have built in the last couple of seasons. So if he goes very well, then you know he's worth following.
Dan, not today, but maybe tomorrow. Okay, that's Defiantly in the 8 o'clock. Watch him absolutely bolt up. Okay, there we go. Moving on to the final race of the day, of course, at 6:10. And English Oak is your 9-2 favourite. Can English Oak go back-to-back at the Royal Ascot meeting? 9-2. Ed Walker thinks it's a ridiculous price. Who knows? 9-2. We'll find out what the panel think. Gleneagle Bay went so close here last time at 6-1. Never So Brave 13-2. Roy de France is 10-1. Oliver Show 10-1. Acadian Thunder is 10-1, and it's 12-1 bar. Ali, send our viewers home with a winner.
Oliver Show. I saw this horse in Bahrain running over in the winter over a mile, 10 furlongs, purely because they don't have 7 furlongs for the Bahrain Turf Series. So he was running in a different distance. Really good second to a horse called Goman last time out in Bahrain, who went on to run at Meydan, went to run at Hong Kong. Came back, should have won the Lincoln, had a wind up. This is his trip, 7 furlongs. Love the going. Oliver Show.
Bang! There we go. Oliver Show for Ali in the finale.
There was a groan here. Was that a groan of agreement? Or?
No, I love a bit of Oliver Show. I'm on board as well.
Oh my God, phew.
Pick up the point.
Be very patriotic now, David. And Oliver Show did carry the Green of Ireland to success in the Racing League last year.
Oh, here we go.
So he actually ran twice. And Bowie, my great ally in that, of course. So George O'Bowie.
Irish bottle.
Jesus. No, I really like the horse, and I think that this type of race suits him really well. And the run of the Lincoln was huge. And exactly what Ali said, I think 7 furlongs, stiff 7 furlongs here, going a million in front, ridden with patience, arrived late. Bowie, brilliant target trainer. You can see what he's thinking. You know, a little bit of a tidy up with the wind after the Lincoln. Come here fresh, bang bang. Oliver Show.
Oliver Show.
Not carrying the green today, but we still love him.
No. Okay, so there we go. 2 votes for Oliver Show. Wasn't expecting that, Martin.
I'll give a mention to Cerulean Bear, who's a huge price. Huge price. I think he's like 66s, 80s.
Cerulean Bear. I'm scrolling.
He's right down there.
Holy God, I'm scrolling. 66-1.
66-1. Well, he's just a very solid 7 furlong handicapper. He's not thrown in, but he's a strong traveller. If he gets the right ride, right position through the race, he's well able. He's in good form. He ran well at Chester last time out. He's only beaten 2 lengths. His 3-year-old season was really progressive, and he's not over the hill. He's only a 4-year-old. He's had a couple of starts so far this year. I think he's probably warming into his season a little bit, to be honest. And yeah, he's a very big price for a horse that's pretty likely to run well, you know, and you'll be getting loads of extra places and whatnot. You might, you know, what is it, 6, 7, something like that?
Yeah, you can get 7 places with Paddy Power, I think. Yeah. Okay, Cerulean Bay.
Cerulean Bay.
If that one at 66, it would be probably a short head second to
shoulders high.
To Kevin's trifecta almost. The Derby. And finally, Tom Segal. You backed the last winner yesterday. I have a feeling you're going to back the last winner today.
Am I? How do you know? Well,
I
Ali could have written my column because I've tipped Oliver's Show this morning.
Oliver's Show.
Did you read his column?
I didn't actually, but God.
Which was exactly the reason. 7 furlong straight track. Everything in his favour.
I thought I'd be the only one.
Should have won the Lincoln. In fact, the commentator did thought he did win the Lincoln.
Well, don't mention the war.
And so I like him. I also think the Irish horse Gleneagle Bay's got a very good chance. He's a very solid horse. I think he's got loads more to come. I thought he should have won the Victoria Cup over course and distance. He got unlucky. Now he's into 6-1 now, which is verging on being too short, but I think he's got a massive chance.
And Ammo stepped in and bought him.
And Ammo bought him. David Egan rides Ascot.
And a real good up-and-coming trainer, Stephen Thorne, has made a blistering start to his training career, spent a lot of time with Aidan
And
McGuinness.
the good thing is, no one mentioned the draw. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Absolutely.
My hobby horse, no one mentioned the draw. It's like, don't mention the war, don't mention the draw.
Don't mention the draw.
There's no one and there's no one unknowns. And yeah, the draw.
I'm going to give a shout out to a horse that's frustrating, but I do think he's going to win one of these big handicaps, Roy de France, mainly because of the draw. I think he's really well drawn in stock. I'm joking. Ryan Moore is booked, and just the last day, he travelled so powerfully through the race. I think if a faster pace, if he can just creep into it, I think Cheap Piece is on for the first time. I think Roy de France has got a big chance at 10-1. So there you go. That's our preview of Gold Cup Day at Ascot. But now it's the moment of truth. You got your likes in. You did what we told you to do. Well done, everybody. So now it's time for the big three, okay? So we've got Tom Segal's horse to follow for the rest of the season. We've got Kevin Blake's horse from Joseph O'Brien's stable, the real dark one that you need to follow for the rest of the season. And we've got Martin Dixon's Horse Watcher's horse to follow for the rest of the season. So Tom, we put you up first. Tom Segal's horse to follow for the rest of the 2025 flat season is?
No, I'm not going to. I'll give you two. Alma Cam, because he's my horse. I've on him for 2 years now, and I just love him, and I think he's really good. But the other one might run here on Saturday. His horse of William Haggards is called Archivist, who used to be trained by Sir Michael Stout. I think William Haggards thinks he's got a Group 1 horse and he's running in handicaps. I think he's really good.
Archivist, who loaded twos next to his name, won last time?
Won last time. Should have won a few times.
Yes.
Should have won a few times. I just think he's the type of horse that William Haggards will end up being a really good horse, so he'd be my...
That's Archivist. Write it down. Archivist could be a Group 1 horse, and he could be running a handicap here on Saturday for Tom Segal. He's his horse to follow.
And do you notice what I did? It's on Saturday, and you'll never see me again for another year.
Yeah. Listen, we can break into that living room. We can. Kevin Blake, right? Joseph won't be watching. He'll be getting his team ready, right? So feel free, you have free reign to pick a horse from Joseph's for the rest of the season.
No, I'll give you a little dark one. That's not so much for the rest of the season, but she's going to run next weekend, so that, or the weekend after next, I should say, Irish Derby weekend, in one of the quirkier races, a filly called Fortuna Vera.
Okay, spell this first, Kevin.
Fortuna is pretty simple, and Vera is pretty simple.
Right, don't spell it first then, Kevin.
She's going to run in the Apprentice Derby, and she's rated like low 70s. But I think she's been working her way steadily up in trip. She's a real long, slow strider, Dave. You love this stuff. And I think she's been waiting to get to 1.5 miles, and she'll get to the Apprentice Derby, which is a 0-80 at the Curragh on the Friday of the Derby meeting.
Anybody booked yet?
I would be surprised if Wayne Hassett doesn't ride.
Okay.
But that's not, we're not making any promises, Wayne. But I suspect that'll be the case, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fortuna Vega, Fortuna Vera. There you go. How hard was that, Kevin?
We're turning into a spelling bee now.
So we've got Archivist, we've got Fortuna Vega, and finally Vera. Finally, Martin Dixon, your horse watcher's horse to follow for the season.
I'll give you a couple. Hornsey Bay is a well-handicapped horse. He ended up making his own run in at Epsom a couple of weeks ago on Oakstay. Wasn't in love with the track, didn't like making his own running. He wants covering up a little bit behind horses, but he is a well-handicapped horse. I think he's probably going to go to either Doncaster, but more likely York on John Smith's Cup weekend for a 1.25 mile handicap there. So
Hornsey Bay.
Hornsey Bay.
Okay, there we go.
I'd be disappointed if he hadn't won by the end of the season anyway. And Forest Caper, who's also with David O'Mara, is a nice horse. Lope de Vega horse, very fractious, quite keen and immature, sort of mentally. He took off with David Nolan the other night at Beverley, just got caught up the hill, but sort of did too much running. He's another one that ideally wants burying away off a fast pace. He'll be better when he's handicapped, like the nature of a handicap race will just suit him with more established horses setting a stronger gallop. But I think he'll be quite a bit better than his early runs suggest he is.
Beautiful. Give us that name again.
Forest Caper.
And the first one?
Hornsey Bay.
How do you spell them?
There you go. You don't get that on any other Royal Ascot preview show. 3 horses to follow from the guys who know everything for the rest of the season. So now it is nap time. The naps have been going reasonably well. Maddie Plale is leading our naps table with American Affair 14-1 on day 1. So our good friends at Paddy Power are giving us 50 quid to spend today. And of course mine is going on Brave Mission into Britannia, 5 o'clock, 50, 7-1, 400 quid back. Lovely jubbly. Kevin?
Have to try and catch Maddie, so light as air, 16-1 for me.
Lovely, 16-1, light as air for Kevin Blake. Tom?
Glen Eagle Bay in the last for me.
Okay, Glen Eagle Bay in the 6-10. He backed the last winner yesterday. He's going for the big finale double. Martin?
Parole d'Oro in the Britannia.
You're taking me on. So Parole d'Oro for Martin.
Nice easy races we've all gone for.
And Ali?
Candelari in the big one.
Yes, you're going to collect. There you go. Candelari, 50 quid at 7-2 for Aly Vance. So that's it, folks, all done and dusted. We hope you enjoyed the show today. We had a little bit of everything. We spoke about the heat. We got horses to follow for the season. Now we previewed the action. Hopefully we found a few winners along the way. My thanks to Ali, who'll be back with us on Saturday, to Martin, to Tom and to Kevin. Thanks for watching. Good morning, Royal Ascot. And best of luck with all your bets today. Thank you.